Your doctor checked your blood pressure. Your physical therapist worked on your legs. Your family bought you a shower chair. And nobody, not one person, checked your eyes. That is the part nobody tells you. The leading cause of outdoor falls in adults over 60 is not weak ankles, bad shoes, or wet pavement. It is a miscommunication between your eyes and your inner ear, one that is happening right now, invisibly, every time you move your head. And here is the thing that should make you stop and pay attention. There is a 5-minute drill used inside hospital balance clinics every single day that directly targets this miscommunication. It has been tested. It has been validated in peer-reviewed clinical trials, and almost nobody has ever shown you how to do it at home. Until today, what you are about to learn is not a balance tip. It is a clinical protocol, one that vestibular physiotherapists use with patients who have fallen, patients who are afraid of falling, and patients who thought their dizziness was simply something they had to live with. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why every outdoor fall you have ever witnessed, or nearly had yourself, started long before the person ever hit the ground. Here is a question most people have never been asked. When you walk across grass, step onto a curb, or move from a tiled floor to carpet, what are your eyes doing? Most people say, looking where I'm going. That is half right. But what your eyes are actually doing at a neurological level is far more complex than that simple answer suggests. Your brain is running a constant calculation every fraction of a second. It is comparing what your inner ear is sensing with what your eyes are seeing. When those two signals match, you feel stable. When they do not match, even slightly, your brain panics. That moment of panic is the real fall risk. Consider what happens on uneven ground, a cracked sidewalk, a patch of wet grass, the transition from pavement to gravel. On flat, predictable surfaces, your visual system and your vestibular system stay in sync. But on uneven ground, everything changes rapidly. Your body makes micro-adjustments with every single step. Your head bobs and tilts. Your inner ear sends a cascade of rapid correction signals. And if your eyes cannot keep pace with all of that simultaneous movement, if the visual information lags even a fraction of a second behind the vestibular input, your brain becomes confused. A confused brain does what confused brains always do. It overcompensates, it overcorrects, and that overcorrection becomes the stumble. Here is what the research actually shows. A study in the Journal of Vestibular Research found that over 65% of outdoor falls in adults aged 60 and older were preceded by a visual vestibular mismatch. The person's eyes could not keep pace with head and body movement. The brain could not reconcile the two signals in time, and the body made a compensation that became the fall. Here is the counterintuitive part that changes everything. The ground does not cause the fall. Your brain causes the fall, and you can train the brain to stop doing it. This is precisely what gaze stabilization drills were designed to fix. They are used in vestibular rehabilitation clinics, prescribed after concussions, after vertigo episodes, and after inner ear damage. But here is what the medical establishment has been slow to communicate clearly. You do not have to be injured to benefit. Your vestibulo-ocular reflex weakens with age, just like your quadriceps and your grip strength do. And just like those muscles, it can be actively retrained. Stay with me because the next section reveals exactly how this system works and why it starts failing, specifically in your 60s. Think of the most expensive camera stabilizer in professional filmmaking. Cinematographers use gyroscopic gimbals to keep footage perfectly smooth no matter how rough the terrain beneath them. Your brain has something even more sophisticated. It is called the vestibulo-ocular reflex, the VOR, and you have had it since the day you were born. Here's how it works. Your inner ear contains 3 tiny fluid-filled canals, each oriented in a different spatial plane. When your head moves in any direction, the fluid inside those canals shifts. Microscopic hair cells detect the movement and fire signals to your brain almost instantaneously. Your brain then, in under 20 milliseconds, sends correction signals to the 6 small muscles controlling your eyes. Your eyes move in the exact opposite direction of your head. The result is that your gaze stays locked on your target even as your head bounces, rotates, and tilts continuously during walking. When this system works properly, you can walk on gravel while reading a sign. You can glance down at your feet and look back up without losing your balance. You can turn your head to check traffic while walking forward, and your vision does not blur, and your feet do not falter. When this system degrades, and it does degrade, measurably, starting around age 60, something entirely different happens. Your eyes lag behind your head movement by a critical fraction of a second. Your brain receives unstable visual input during that lag. Researchers call this visual slip. And visual slip on uneven ground is precisely the neurological condition that precedes a fall. Here is the number that should stop you cold. Adults over 65 have a VOR gain, the technical measurement of how efficiently your eyes track your head. That is on average 20 to 30% lower than younger adults. 20 to 30%. That is not a minor decline. That is the neurological equivalent of trying to navigate a gravel path with corrective lenses that are 2 full prescriptions out of date. The remarkable fact, however, is this. Unlike joint cartilage or bone density, the vestibulo-ocular reflex is highly and rapidly trainable at any age. No equipment required, no gym membership, just your eyes, a target, 5 minutes, and consistency. Here's the protocol. The first drill is the foundation. Do not skip it in favor of the more advanced drills. Your brain must build this baseline first, or the harder drills will produce frustration rather than real progress. Here is what you do. Find a fixed target at eye level, approximately 6 to 10 feet away from where you are standing. A single letter on a book spine, a light switch, a small piece of tape you put on the wall specifically for this purpose. Stand with your feet hip-width apart, weight evenly distributed, both hands relaxed at your sides. Fix your gaze on that target and hold it. Now, very slowly, rotate your head to the right. No more than 10 to 15 degrees, a small movement, not a full turn. The key is this. Your eyes must stay locked on the target throughout the movement. The target should remain absolutely still in your vision, as though your eyes are on a compensating gimbal. Slowly return your head to center, then slowly rotate left. Repeat this gentle side-to-side movement 10 times. Then perform the same drill vertically. Tilt your head slowly upward, eyes still locked on the target, then slowly downward. 10 repetitions vertically. Here is what is happening beneath the surface with every repetition. Each time your head moves and your eyes compensate successfully, each time that target stays clear, your brain is logging a successful calibration event. You are incrementally recalibrating the gain of your vestibulo-ocular reflex. Over days and weeks, these small corrections accumulate into a measurably stronger, faster system. Perform this drill for 60 seconds total, 30 seconds horizontal, 30 seconds vertical. Research from the American Journal of Otolaryngology found that patients performing gaze stabilization daily for 4 weeks improved their dynamic visual acuity by an average of 40%. Dynamic visual acuity is your ability to see clearly while your head is moving. A 40% improvement means you are dramatically more likely to accurately read the ground in front of you while walking. That is the precise margin between a clean step and a stumble. Most people notice a subtle improvement in stability within the first 5 to 7 days. Commit to drill 1 every morning for at least 1 week before adding drill 2. But when you are ready, drill 2 is where your outdoor confidence begins to genuinely transform. Drill 2 is called the walking head rotation drill. It sounds straightforward. Its neurological effects are anything but. Stand at one end of a clear hallway or any open path of 10 to 15 feet in your home. Identify a fixed target at the far end. A picture, a window, a door frame, at eye level. Begin walking toward it at your natural, comfortable pace. As you walk, add the same gentle side-to-side head rotation from drill 1. Left, center, right center, slow deliberate rotations. Never rushed. Keep your gaze locked on the far target throughout the entire walk. This is the critical progression from drill 1, and your brain will feel the difference immediately. When you are stationary, your brain manages head movement alone. When you are walking, it simultaneously processes head movement, body movement, shifting body weight, and changing ground feedback from your feet, all at once. This is the exact neurological demand of walking on uneven surfaces outdoors. You are now training your VOR under real-world conditions. In a controlled environment where a stumble will not hurt you, walk the full length of your path and back. 3 complete lengths. That is approximately 90 seconds of focused drill. Rest for 30 seconds, then repeat the set once more. 2 sets is sufficient. You do not need volume here. You need quality of attention. Drill 3 is the most advanced component, and it is also the most satisfying to master. It is called the moving thumb drill, and it trains something the first 2 drills cannot reach. Extend your dominant arm straight in front of you at eye level, and raise your thumb. This is now your moving target. Begin walking slowly. As you walk, sweep your thumb gradually from left to right and back again. A slow, controlled arc, not a rapid movement. Keep your gaze precisely on your thumbnail as it moves across your field of vision. This drill trains something therapists call vestibulo-ocular pursuit. In real life, the visual world does not stand still while you move through it. A grandchild cuts across the yard, a car pulls out from a driveway, a neighbor's dog moves toward you on the path. Your eyes must track a moving object accurately while your feet simultaneously manage unpredictable ground. Drill 3 prepares your brain for exactly this scenario. The vestibulo-ocular reflex operating in active, unpredictable pursuit mode. 3 sets of 30 seconds for drill 3. Then you're done. Total protocol time, 5 minutes. Performed every morning before you step outside, these 3 drills collectively address the root neurological cause of outdoor falls, not just the symptoms. The cumulative adaptations from 5 consistent minutes per day can exceed what many far more elaborate programs achieve, because you are targeting the specific system that fails first. But before the outro, there is one more piece of this conversation that we absolutely need to have. It is about a sensation that millions of older adults experience every single day and dismiss without question. They are wrong to dismiss it, and now you have the tools to actually address it. You know this feeling. You sit in your favorite chair for an hour. You stand up. The room tilts slightly. You reach for something solid. You wait 3 seconds, 5, for the world to settle back into focus. Most people assume this is a blood pressure problem, and sometimes it genuinely is. Orthostatic hypotension, the temporary drop in blood pressure that occurs upon standing, is real, common in older adults, and worth discussing with your doctor. But here is what your doctor may not have explained clearly. A significant portion of stand-up dizziness in people over 60 is vestibular in origin, not cardiovascular, and the two feel nearly identical from the inside. Here is the physiological reality. When you sit for an extended period, the fluid in your inner ear canals partially equilibrates to a stable resting state. When you stand up abruptly, gravitational forces cause that fluid to shift rapidly and asymmetrically through the canals. If your vestibulo-ocular reflex is already operating at reduced efficiency, which, after 60, it very likely is, your brain cannot process this sudden fluid shift quickly enough. You experience a brief but intense period of visual vestibular mismatch. The room appears to tilt. Your eyes cannot lock onto a reference point fast enough. Your balance temporarily fails. This is not something you have to accept. The same gaze stabilization training that improves your outdoor walking balance directly accelerates your response to positional changes. As your VOR becomes more efficient through the drills, it processes rapid inner ear fluid shifts faster and more accurately. The dizziness window shrinks from 5 seconds to 3 to sometimes almost nothing over 4 to 6 weeks of consistent practice. There is also a single behavioral technique that dramatically amplifies this effect. Before you rise from any chair, fix your gaze on a specific target at eye level across the room. A picture, a window, a clock on the wall. Hold that gaze deliberately as you push yourself to standing. You are giving your vestibular system an external anchor, a visual reference point for your eyes to stabilize against as the inner ear fluid shifts. This 3-second habit engages your gaze stabilization reflex before the dizziness can even begin. Try it once today. That single experience will tell you everything. If you've been dismissing the room tilting moment when you stand as a normal, unavoidable feature of aging, I am telling you right now that it is not. It is a trainable symptom of a measurable deficit, and you now have the protocol. You arrived at this video thinking falls were about legs, or floors, or bad luck. You know something entirely different now. Your eyes are the front line of fall prevention. The vestibulo-ocular reflex is the specific system responsible for keeping you upright on uneven ground. And 5 minutes of daily progressive gaze stabilization training, 3 drills performed in order, practiced consistently, can rebuild that system at any age. Here's your one action step right now before you do anything else. Find a sticky note, write the word target on it, place it at eye level on the wall across from your favorite chair. That is your drill 1 target. You begin tomorrow morning, 60 seconds, just the stationary gaze hold. Give it 7 days. Notice the difference in how the ground feels beneath you when you walk. If this video finally explains something that your doctors never had time to show you, please hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Every week, this channel delivers clinical protocols, translated for real home use. Not tips, not generalities, but protocols. The kind your physical therapist recommends and wishes you had more time to practice. There is one more video I want you to watch immediately after this one. It covers the gluteus medius, the specific hip stabilizer that every balance researcher now identifies as the critical second layer of outdoor fall prevention. It connects directly and powerfully to everything you learned today. That video is right here. Stay steady. Stay consistent. I will see you next week.